let's get to the Knicks. They dealt with a lot of injuries this postseason, starting with the fact that Julius Randle was unavailable for the playoffs. Mitchell Robinson missed 7 games, while OG Anunoby missed 4. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart didn't miss any games, but they're battling injuries throughout these playoffs. With that in mind, would the Knicks be competing for a championship if fully healthy? Here's what KG, as in Kevin Durant, told SA on the Stephen A. Smith Show.
Do you believe that the New York Knicks need a #1 option to go along with Brunson in order to come out of the East next year?
What is Randall? Man, Julius Randle is a 25-10 guy in this
I love
league.
Randall, but he ain't a #1 option, though. I love Randall. He ain't a #1 option, KG.
You tripping.
I'm not tripping.
And he grew his game. Listen, man, and he grew his game with the 3-ball. Man, y'all tripping on Julius Randle. Julius Randle's one of the harder guards in this mud. And he left-handed. He got a 3-ball. He can play make. Man, I mean, he ain't perfect.
Right.
But man, yeah, with this team, because you know what happens when you bring in a superstar, you bring somebody else. You got that superstar. You gotta intertwine him in with the fabric of what the Knicks are. The Knicks are gritty and they gruddy. They play for 48 to end you. You know, they tears.
Thought about this.
How the Knicks are, man. The Knicks are perfect. The Knicks should not be touched. Let's go. Let's run this. Let's run this 2 years with this team and then talk about that superstar later.
All right, Mad Dog, do you agree with KG that the Knicks, as presently constructed, are contenders?
I think they're a little shy. You know, and I was thinking about this the other day. How many teams in the history of the NBA have won a title with this smaller point guard? Curry did, Isaiah did. It's very hard to win. Well, he's great, don't get me wrong, but to lean on him to be their guy, and I know Randall would help him, I think they would come up a little shy. So I would say, would have beaten Indiana. Am I that boring there, Molly, when you're yawning at me?
Oh my gosh, that has nothing to do with you. It's staying up to watch games.
I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I can see you doing it for Stephen A, but geez.
And I quit caffeine, so it has nothing. It's not personal.
They are a little shy from winning an NBA championship. Even if they had their health, I think they would have beaten Indiana.
Yeah.
But I still think they would not have won the title.
Well, see, there's your ignorance shining through. The title, the question is Knicks title contenders. Well, if they beat Indiana, they're in the conference finals. Doesn't that qualify as a title contender? I believe it does. If you're in the damn conference finals, which is what there would have been had the roster been healthy enough. I think when you look at the New York Knicks, I don't think there's any question that they're title contenders, because if their roster were healthy, I think they would be in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think they would be giving Boston Celtics a run for their money. That makes you a title contender. Last time I checked, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, a defender and a shot blocker. You've got Hartenstein. You see what he brings to the table. Josh Hart, his guts, the Energizer bunny that he is, plus he's tough as nails defensively, and especially with his rebounding. We've seen what Jalen Brunson has emerged into. Bogdanovich is a sharpshooter. He could do some things. And, of course, OG Anunoby is one of the elite defenders in basketball. A matter of fact, when the New York Knicks were 20th defensively in defensive efficiency, they were 20th before he arrived. Once he arrived, they were #1. With Randall, OG, and Brunson on the court together in like 13 or 14 games, they had just 1 loss. I'm looking at those kind of things. I'm looking at the fact that they would have beaten Indiana. And I'm saying, yo, that qualifies you as a title contender. You'd be in the mix.
Yeah. I think the Knicks have enough. Do I think they could get better this summer? Absolutely. But if we're talking, are they real enough title contenders? They absolutely are. When you look at the depth of their team and what they were missing, and they still barely came up short to an Indiana Pacers that was fully healthy, they absolutely have enough. The Pacers barely lost to Boston last night. All right. The Pacers barely beat the Knicks with half their team out. We're not talking about guys who are, whatever role players. We're talking about vital pieces of their team. OG and Julius Randle are key players missing. Bogdanovich is a key player missing. Mitchell, their center, who's a great rim protector, missing. He's like an all-defensive big when he's fully healthy. Julius Randle is a guy that consistently gets slept on. We're talking about a 25-9 guy. If you told me before the year, or any of you guys, any Knicks fans, that Julius Randle is going to give you 25-9 a game, you would be like, that works for me. And Jalen Brunson is played beyond any expectation. When he got the $100 million contract, we were over here saying he's overpaid. Now he's like $150 million underpaid compared to what some of these other stars are making. They have depth. They have two-way players. They have guys who play on both sides of the ball. They have shooting, since DiVincenzo's turned into a marksman. Bogdanovich would have helped out with some shooting as well. They have a team that can contend. And mind you, we're in an era of the NBA where we don't have a dynasty team dominating, right? The team we thought just lost fully healthy to Minnesota. So we don't have this dominating Warriors team that nobody can beat. The league's wide open. The Knicks can absolutely contend this year if they were fully healthy. But as far as next year, if they come back fully healthy just with the team right now,
you
currently
think they can win it?
They could contend. I do think they could get better. You can always get better. I said yesterday, remember Boston got rid of Marcus Smart. None of us thought that was going to happen. But what happened? They ended up getting a Drew Holiday. They improved. They got some more players. If you can go get a Paul George, a Klay Thompson, someone who has, who can play both sides of the ball, it has to fit the cloth. They have to fit Tibbs because this team isn't built around Jaylen Brown.
I would love.
It's built around Tibbs. The team's built around Tibbs. A lot of teams aren't built around the coach.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So you got to find the right guy who fits the mold with the Knicks. Them like offloading a whole bunch of guys for a player is not the answer.
Yeah. All right.
I would love Klay Thompson in a New York Knicks uniform.
That'd be great.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them down, try to wear, pull up all brains.